Welcome back to my channel. My name remains Blessing Ikejembamora. I'm going to be sharing with you today $411,000 worth of sales knowledge. I want you to think about where you are right now in your sales journey. Maybe you're at a place where you're thinking of getting into sales. I'm going to be honest with you, about 60%, maybe even 70 or 80% of people that are in sales do not plan to get into sales, but they are so grateful they did. I happen to be one of them, okay? You already know my story. I used to be a registered nurse, practiced here for 10 years. I did trauma, ER, ICU. I love being a nurse. But I told myself, I saw so many people that couldn't retire. I told myself, I don't want to stay paycheck to paycheck for the rest of my life. That's why I started looking into what next. When I prayed for that next, I didn't know it was going to be in sales. To put it in context, I dreaded sales so much that when I was working in the bank, I took a pay cut just so I could be in operations and not in sales. But today I'm going to be the one sharing with you some tips that's going to help you to actually build a huge sales. The first thing I want to talk to you today about is about mindset. Everything we do in life boils down to mindset. If you have a mindset of someone that's going to be earning $50,000 a year, so it will be for you. Have you ever heard that quote that says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. That's how it is when it comes to earning income. When it comes to earning income, the first thing is your mindset. Do you think you can or do you think you cannot? If you have a mindset of someone that wants to earn $50,000 a year, you will work towards earning $50,000 a year. Everything in your environment, they say, is the universe. I know it's God, okay? If you ask for 50,000, God will give you 50,000. But what if you have the abundant mindset that says, I'm going to cross $1 million in sales this year? Now you're willing to do what the 50,000ers don't want to do because you're going to be among the millionaires. Start from expanding your mindset. The next tip is stepping out of your comfort zone. I know what you just thought, oh my God, my comfort zone is my comfort place. Someone told me the other day, honestly speaking, I will do anything as long as I don't get out of my comfort zone. Then I told her, well, you will do nothing more than what you've done before. Because our comfort zone is where we've stayed our entire life. That's why it's our comfort zone. That's why we're there. So dare to step out of your comfort zone. For example, myself, even though after a while I started looking at sales differently. What if I think of sales as actually providing value? Think about it. Nobody earns any money until somebody sells something. This jacket I'm wearing, someone sold it to me. It's either you sell or you'll be sold. So stepping out of your comfort zone could be, if you're like the introverted kind of person, try saying hello to people. Just hello when you pass someone, okay? And then maybe if you're the extroverted kind of person, tune it down a little bit. Your comfort zone may actually be too out of it for other people. That's one way you can step out of your comfort zone. Another thing about stepping out of your comfort zone is, do you know what you're capable of doing? So many of us, we are capable of doing so much more. I know that an average person uses less than 10% of their brain capacity. Imagine that. That means whatever you're doing right now, you can 10x it. So stepping out of your comfort zone is, hey, how do you meet new people? Go to networking events. Okay, maybe you're going to a grocery store that you go all the time. Try striking a little conversation with the lady that's at the cashier that you don't even have anything to do with. What did we grow up learning? Don't talk to strangers. And then now I'm telling you, oh, go out and talk to strangers. You're going to think, blessing, you're mad, right? I'm not. If you want to be wealthy, you do what the wealthy people do. And what the wealthy people do well is they take risk, they step out of their comfort zone. The third tip, urgency. You probably heard me talk about urgency before. What does being urgent mean? Can you think of one time that you've been urgent? And you're probably wondering, how does urgency help you with sales? Maybe depending on where you are right now. So let's say you haven't even got into sales, but you've been putting it off. You know it's something you want to get into. You know the job you're doing right now won't give you the lifestyle that you want. You know you want to do more and be more and have more flexibility with time and raise your kids by yourself. All those lovely things that come to salespeople. Every good thing comes to those who sell more. Urgency could be you taking the first step. When I call someone on the phone and I'm booking an appointment, instead of saying, hey, does weekend or weekdays evening work for you? I just ask you right away, how does later today work, or do you prefer tomorrow? So the moment you ask someone about later today or tomorrow, their brain shuts off every other thing. It zones into today, evening, and tomorrow. But imagine two of us are making the call. You're asking them, oh yeah, how does your weekdays work, or do you prefer weekend? Their brain is going to go everything they have to do during the week and during the weekend, and they're going to be like, maybe 3 weeks from now, because this coming weekend I'm busy, the upper weekend I'm going for this wedding, but maybe the third weekend from now. Urgency is one thing that you can never have too much of when it comes to being successful as a sales person. Another tip you want to think about right now is consistency. I remember when I was brand new in this business, of course I was working my nursing job full time. I was doing my master's degree full time, and I have to run here. Time obviously is, I can't even tell you how, I don't even know how I did it, okay? So don't even ask me how. But one thing about me is that I know my training days. On Mondays, we set up our week. So I figured out how to get myself to the office Monday morning. Once I get there on that Monday morning, I get to get into whatever we're doing. I get to be able to go out with other people to prospect. I wasn't from this industry. I learned. I was willing to learn. So consistent was that I missed no training. Even trainings I have to do, like sometimes I get off 12-hour shift and I literally drive from my job to the office to make trainings. Consistency, also how it helps you in sales, is what are those activities that you need to do over and over and over and over and over. For example, regardless of what business you do or what hustle you have to figure out how to find clients. We call it prospecting. If you're in real estate, you probably do door knocking. Do you have consistency in how often you go out to go door knock? Do you have a system to it? In life insurance, financial services, maybe we do word of mouth. Do you have a consistent way of sending out that word of mouth to people that know you or the people that you know? Are you consistent about it? Are you consistent about prospecting? If I go to your store to buy something, you're going to get prospected. Sorry, I don't care if your head is touching the sky. You have to know what I'm doing. So are you consistent in that? Every store I go to, they know what I do. Maybe that person that's checking you out on that counter, they don't want to do that job for the next 10 years. They don't want to stay paycheck to paycheck for their life. Do you tell them what you do? Do you let them know you can help them? Like I help people get licensed with their state. When I'm interacting with you, if I go to my dentist, he knows what I do. My doctor, my eye doctor, my allergy doctor, they all know what I do. So in order to pick up your sales and to be successful in sales, you have to be consistently working on it. Maybe it's working on your craft to master your presentation. Maybe it's mastering your closing. Maybe it's learning how to prospect, how to be consistent on the phones. Some of you want to be a salesperson, but you're so scared of the phone. I read this book. The name of the book is Pick Up the Phone and Dial. And it's just simply saying some salespeople have more phobia of dialing phones than dying. So consistency may be scheduling your calls. If I have breakfast, I have to make 50 calls. If I have lunch, I have to make 50 calls. Hold yourself accountable for it. Have you wondered what role customer service plays in your sales? And it doesn't matter what is it that you sell. Maybe you're in real estate, maybe you're in insurance sales like myself, maybe you're making products and services. So maybe your customer service is not taking back the goods. For example, I have someone, he bought this policy from me. He has a friend that's paying for the same amount, paying 100. And I'm looking at him. So the first thing I ask him, I'm like, okay, I understand where you're going. So I actually listened. Like when I'm listening, you will think I don't have anything else I'm doing. So when he finished, I asked, okay, what would you like? Would you like me to explain the policy you have? Would you like me to run an illustration for you, the type that your friend has? Okay, so number one, you're a male, she's a female. So because you're a male, your policy is going to be a little more expensive. Not a lot, okay? But again, how old is this friend of yours? Obviously, the lady was a lot younger. So if you were in that person's shoes, and you probably did not understand, you probably behave the same way. If he doesn't understand what I sold to him, it is my fault. Your life is going to be better if you learn simple customer service, trust me. So that's customer service. It doesn't matter what you do. You can add customer service. Customer service when you run your own business could be like greeting card, remember their birthday, when is their anniversary day. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. In addition to what we've talked about so far, think about finding a system that works. So before I got into the life insurance and financial services business, I looked at so many platforms. I looked at being independent, I looked at being captive agent, and I decided to be a builder. And I also want to build something that's going to transcend me. I found this platform is a system that works. Now, this system is a plug and play. It took me just like a very minute amount to have a platform and get a license, and then I could leverage the people that are already there. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. If you find a system that works, make up your mind to understand that system, learn that system, and if you need to tweak it to not be too divergent from what it used to be. Think about franchising. Why do you have a McDonald's every 2-minute drive? System. You could buy a McDonald's franchise, you don't know how to make burger, you go to their burger school, they just give you the recipe, the system. You go and plug and play, you make perfect burgers. A system helps you to scale whatever you're doing. Let's say you're doing a coaching, maybe an online coach, maybe an in-person coach. What systems can you implement to maximize your effort? There are some systems that you have that's gonna be okay. Maybe it's your way of remembering appointments. You might have missed 1 or 2 appointments in your lifetime, so you're like, you know what? I have to download my Google Calendar. I found a system that works very well here. System that makes people help other people around them to grow, and in helping other people to grow, you get to grow. Remember Zig Ziglar, he said what? In order to get to where you want to get to, help as many people get to where they want to get to. So I found that in this platform that if you want to earn $1 million a year, help 10 people to earn $100,000 in a year. You'll be $1 million earner. Guess what my goal is this year? To cross my $1 million milestone. I'm looking for 10 people that I'm going to help to go earn $100,000 this year. Reach out if that's you. Your business is as good as the system that runs it. So the system we have here improves sale in a very huge way. The calendar is there already. The system runs itself already. There's how to calculate your hours in business already. If I talk to 10 people, 3 will actually show up, 1 will actually get started. That system helps you to predict your business. To be successful in sales, you have to find a system that works for that particular area of business. Work that system, and that system is going to work your business. The final tip I'm going to give you today is to find a mentor and be coachable to that mentor. That's one thing that helped me a lot here. When I came into this industry, I didn't have an idea what money is. In fact, I couldn't even spell annuity for a while, okay? And I didn't know anything about money. I came from a background that we never discussed money. I remember the first time I got into this industry and I met a mentor, and my mentor obviously is George Pelayo, who's mentored by Patrick Bet-David, who down the road I earned Pat's mentorship, so Patrick Bet-David mentored me directly also. I remember going into the George's office one day and I'm telling him, hey, I want to develop malaria vaccine. And he's like, guess what? When you open your non-profit, I'm going to write the first check. Think about that. Who does that? So the moment he said he's going to write the first check, that makes the goal more crystallized in my mind. So now I'm looking for opening that non-profit, reaching out to him to write the first check. What happened is that we sat in his office one day and he asked me, how much do you think you need to make to actually start opening that non-profit? And I said, maybe 250,000. He said, let's look at it. And then we processed it. It turned out that 250,000, I'll probably still be struggling financially. But remember then, my income was 100K, so I thought 250K is a lot of money, right? Of course, I know better now. So we ended up saying, okay, you should. By the time we processed it, we landed at a number. He said, by the time you cross $400,000 to $500,000, you'll be more comfortable. You'll be able to afford a few hands to help in the research. You'll be able to afford to register your nonprofit, to, have if you want to open a clinic, have the resources to do that. And also, you would have built a team that is going to be more like producing more. So that conversation made a whole lot of difference. Because before then, even though I wanted to develop malaria vaccine, I had told myself it's impossible. But after the conversation with my mentor, I knew it's totally possible. I remember when I wanted to go full-time in business, I took him out to lunch, okay? So here, when you take people out to lunch, you forget there's food on your table, okay? Because here you're sitting with a millionaire, a real millionaire, a real person that's earning $1 million a year. I'm sitting with him and I'm telling him, okay, I'm thinking of leaving my RN job. I want to go full-time. He asked me, how much do you bring in from your business? How much do you bring in from your job? And after we looked at it, you know what he told me? He said, you're not ready to go full-time yet. Keep your full-time job. Put in more energy in your business. Grow your income to so and so amount. Then we could have this conversation again about you going full-time. Imagine if I don't have a mentor. Now, the second part of having a mentor is being coachable to his coaching. You want to validate your mentor's coaching by showing results. I have one of my partners that say, hey, coach, can you show me this? And then I show him that. He didn't do anything about it. Next time, hey, coach, can you process this with me? We process. He didn't do that. Think about this. You're living with your spouse in the house, right? And then you dress up and you come and ask him, hey, do you like this? And he's like, yeah, I like it, but I think you could move this, instead of this brown jacket, why don't you throw on a navy blue? And you're like, no, I'm gonna go with brown. But tomorrow, don't come asking his opinion, right? Because if you already know you want to go with brown, why are you asking his opinion? That's how mentorship is. So when you find a mentor, be willing to submit to their coaching. Your mentor knows the mistakes they've made in the past. If you avoid those sales, we call them sales stumbling blocks. If you avoid those stumbling blocks, you get to your target earlier. If you can't remember any point we talked about being successful in business, growing your sales numbers to cross $411,000 income in a year, remember to find a good mentor and make up your mind to follow their coaching. So whether you are in real estate, whether you're thinking of opening an online business or you already have one running, whether you're a consultant, you're a nursing consultant, a fitness coach, or whether you're in the sales, traditional car sales, auto sales, you're in the life insurance and financial services like myself, or whether you haven't even started, if you follow these tips, you're going to not just be successful in sales business, you're going to scale, you're going to explode. Remember to subscribe, share this video with whoever you think is going to benefit from this information. Click the little bell so that when we have the next video, it will notify you. Also, I want you to drop your comment down here. Which of these points that we shared today, which of them actually you're going to implement right away? I look forward to seeing your comments.